John?
Thank you. Okay. So almost everybody here today has talked about affordability and not displacing Portlanders of lower and middle incomes. But we can't agree what RIP will do. Will it do it or won't it do it? So I'm going to show you why RIP will actually lead to displacement. So this is data from the Portland Small Developers Association. This is one of the development groups supporting the RIP. What this slide, which is on their website, shows is that the minimum they could possibly charge for a unit in a duplex or a triplex to even be able to build it is $2,700 a month. That is a rent level suitable for a household of income exceeding $100,000 a year. Even in the quadplexes that you've been asked to approve, the minimum they could charge is $2,300 a month. That's suitable for a household of income over $90,000 a year. So RIP will build housing. It will build housing for the highest income Portlanders. So why that matters is because RIP is redevelopment, right? To build a RIP unit, you have to tear down an existing unit. So the next slide shows the RIP rent relative to average rent in Portland today. Top line there, in Portland, the average rent for a two-bedroom unit is $1,600. The RIP rent is 170% of that. In many of the neighborhoods that will be targeted for development, the RIP rent is as much as 250% of average two-bedroom unit rent. That's 2.5 times higher. So let's look at the units that will be targeted. This is a map. Every red dot is a Portland household living in a single-family house that is a rental. This particular map shows an area of North Portland that most of us know. Every single dot there is a family that will be at risk of being displaced because their house can profitably be demolished and rebuilt to housing for people who make over $100,000 a year. And up in this area of North Portland, I can assure you the average household income is not $100,000 a year. So RIP is, next slide, by the way, RIP is targeted right at low-income Portlanders, and especially at vulnerable populations. So the blue shading here is BPS overlay showing vulnerable populations. Overlay goes right over that. So RIP is basically the anti-Robin Hood, right? It's dressed up in appealing language, but what it is it takes housing from the poor to build housing for the rich.
Thank you, John.